About bikes. Gina Woods is host of Open Road Radio, America's premier motorcycle radio talk show. And Vicky Sanfilippo is author of A Crash Course for the Motorcyclists. Both women are featured in a new book called Biker Chicks of North America, which features 22 prominent women who ride Harley-Davidson motorcycles. Ladies, thanks for coming in.
Thanks so much for having us.
You know, I've read both of your stories. Both of them are really fascinating. And the one common nugget here is that neither one of you followed what might be a traditional path towards success, right? I mean,
probably not.
Yeah, Gina, you left home at 17, right?
Yes.
And with your best friend, moved to Texas and stayed there for quite a few years.
Correct.
Right? And you became a nurse. You were not a biker chick, right?
That's right. Yeah, I became a biker chick shortly after becoming a nurse, so they kind of went hand in hand.
Right. Gina, let's start with your story over here. You were a disc jockey at US 99.
US 99?
Always loved motorcycles. Now, how did you parlay that into developing this motorcycle talk show?
Because I was on radio, I had a passion for both radio and obviously motorcycles, and I found out that I could do both.
Yeah,
and it's been a great ride ever since, Steve.
Yeah, I know it has. Tell me a little bit about the show.
The show is a motorcycle talk radio show, so we talk about all types of rides and rallies and tech tips and products reviews, accident scene management, how to ride safe and be safe while riding a motorcycle.
Right. Well, over here now on my left, Vicky, you grew up in Minnesota. You were trained as a nurse. How did you learn to love motorcycles?
Well, I think I did what a lot of women have done. I started out being a passenger on a motorcycle, and unfortunately that relationship didn't turn out, and my decision was find another person who rode a motorcycle.
I was going to say, you want to ride on the back of the motorcycle,
I
right?
started out that way, but that was many years ago. That was back in 1987 is when I bought my first bike.
But your passion is motorcycle safety, and tell me about the book you wrote about that.
It is. As a nurse, people were always saying things to me like, thank God you ride a motorcycle and you're riding with us because you'll know what to do if something happens. And as a nurse, I can tell you that wasn't true. Yeah. I might have known more than the average person, but we're not taught motorcycle trauma in nursing school. And it really took me a while to figure out what it was that I would do. I felt like people trusted me and I needed to know. So once I figured out what it was that I would do at a scene, then I wrote a book called A Crash Course for the Motorcyclist and started teaching my friends.
And this is more focused on what to do after the crash.
That is true. The first few moments after a crash occurs make a huge difference in outcomes. That 5 to 20 minutes until the professionals arrive are a matter of life and death.
Right.
So it's really important people know what to do for each other. The motorcyclist is the most likely person to be first on the scene.
Well, you're doing some great work. And Gene, I got a question. I'm going to direct this one to you. There's a woman who wants to get into this motorcycle culture. Do you have to be a tomboy?
Not especially. It probably helps, but not especially.
Are you a bit of a tomboy?
I am.
Yeah, right.
I'm also a student of Vicky's course, and it's a wonderful course.
Tell me this, and I'll ask you both. For a woman who really wants to get into this, where do you start?
You know, there's so many different ways that you can start. There's so many organizations for women out there, and if you just get online and look or go to your local Hog dealer or maybe a Yamaha dealer, whatever type of bike you're riding, there are different groups that are women supported.
You'd suggest a motorcycle other than a Harley?
Perhaps.
Vicky, I'm not seeing, I thumbed through the book, I didn't see any bikes other than Harley. Of course, it's Harley's in the title, right?
Yes, and I haven't ridden anything other than Harley since I started, so I can't imagine myself on another motorcycle. But you know, two wheels are two wheels. And
right.
Being out there in the wind and enjoying that is, you know, it's the same whether you're on a Harley or another kind of motorcycle. This is my preference.
It's freedom, right?
It really is.
And I'll ask you the same question for any woman who wants to get into motorcycling or want to be a biker chick. Mm-hmm. Where do you start?
Where you start is by learning how to ride and surround yourself by people who've been doing it for a while so they can mentor you and teach you how to enjoy it to its fullest, how to be properly trained, properly licensed, and get a bike that fits you. That's really important.
These are really big. Okay. Well, thank you both, and I wish you the very best. By the way, how were you featured in the book?
How were we featured in the first place?
Why were you,
we were recommended by people who were in the industry who knew who we were. So I do believe that is the case, and we've done a lot of things. We have people who have helped us along the way. Hupy and Abraham and Indian Motorcycles have all been very instrumental in helping us on our way.
All right. Vicki Sanfilippo, Gina Woods, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Could I say real quickly,
Yeah.
we're going to be at the Indian Motorcycles of Chicago book signing the book today from 3 to 5 p.m.
Okay, I wish you the best.
Thank you.
The book is Biker Chicks of North America. If you want to check it out, you can go to bikerchicks.blogspot.com. That's a mouthful. If you want to get to it, go to WGNTV.com. You see right there, /midday, and we'll take you there.